You look around your life right now, and you see the gaps. You see the promotion you didn't get. You see the relationship that isn't fulfilling your needs. You see the opportunities that seem to effortlessly fall into the laps of other people, while you remain standing in the exact same place you were a year ago. You feel a quiet, simmering resentment building in your chest. You wonder why the world is ignoring your potential. You wonder why life is not rewarding your hard work, your loyalty, your quiet dedication. But let me ask you a brutal, uncomfortable question. When was the last time you actually opened your mouth and asked for what you wanted? Not hinted at it. Not complained about not having it. Not passively hoped someone would read your mind and hand it to you on a silver platter. When did you look another human being directly in the eye, state your terms, and ask for exactly what you desire, without apology and without fear? For most people, the answer is never. We are living in a society of silent sufferers. We have been conditioned to believe that asking is begging. We have been taught that stating our desires is arrogant, that demanding what we are worth is selfish, and that the noble path is to put our heads down, stay quiet, and wait to be noticed. But the universe does not reward the quiet martyr. The world does not hand over its treasures to those who are too paralyzed by fear to claim them. The ancient Stoics understood a terrifying truth about human dynamics. You do not get what you deserve in this life. You get what you have the courage to ask for. Marcus Aurelius, a man who commanded the greatest empire on earth, did not wait for reality to mold itself to his preferences. He commanded his mind, and then he commanded his world. He knew that the ability to ask, clearly, firmly, and without emotional attachment, is not a sign of neediness. It is the ultimate display of internal sovereignty. Today, we are going to dismantle the psychological chains that keep your mouth shut and your life small. We are going to explore the Stoic art of asking. We will break down 7 ruthless principles that will teach you how to ask for whatever you want, from your boss, from your partner, from the universe itself, and how to do it with such quiet, devastating authority that the world has no choice but to respond. Before we rebuild your communication architecture, you must make a choice. Are you ready to stop being a passive spectator in your own life? If you are tired of waiting for permission to exist fully, hit the subscribe button right now. Join a community of builders who forge their own reality. Share this video with someone who is constantly settling for less than they deserve. And do not skip a single principle in this guide. Every lesson is a weapon you will need for the battles ahead. Seal your commitment to this transformation today. Drop this exact vow in the comments below. I no longer wait, I claim what is mine. Number 1. Detach your identity from the outcome. The primary reason you freeze when it is time to ask for a raise, or a date, or a favor, is not because you lack the vocabulary. It is because you are terrified of the word no. You have convinced yourself that a rejection is not just a refusal of your request, but a fundamental rejection of your worth as a human being. You tie your entire identity, your ego, and your self-respect to the unpredictable response of another person. This is an emotional trap, and the Stoics possessed the perfect key to unlock it: the dichotomy of control. Epictetus taught that our suffering originates from confusing what is in our power with what is not. When you ask for something, your courage, your preparation, your clarity, and your voice are 100% within your control. But the other person's answer, their mood, their budget, their preferences, their willingness to say yes, that is completely outside your jurisdiction. To master the art of asking, you must ruthlessly sever the cord between your action and their reaction. You must approach the request like a scientist running an experiment. You're simply gathering data. If they say yes, excellent. The parameters have shifted in your favor. If they say no, excellent. You have received clear data and can adjust your strategy accordingly. A no does not mean you are incompetent. A no does not mean you are unworthy. A no is just a vibration of air in the room. When you truly stop fearing rejection, you become incredibly dangerous. You will ask for things that terrify average people simply because you no longer view a negative answer as a threat to your soul. Anchor this mental shield right now. Comment below. My worth is not defined by their answer. Number 2. Eradicate the language of permission. Listen to the way most people ask for things. They use words that are wrapped in apology. I was just wondering if maybe... I hate to bother you, but if it's not too much trouble, could I possibly... They shrink their physical posture. They raise the pitch of their voice at the end of the sentence so it sounds like a plea. They approach the negotiation like a peasant begging a king for a crumb of bread. When you use the language of permission, you are subconsciously signaling to the other person that you do not believe you deserve what you are asking for. And if you do not believe you deserve it, why on earth would they? The Stoic warrior speaks with the heavy, unshakable weight of absolute certainty. You must strip every single apologizing qualifier from your vocabulary. You're not imposing on someone by asking for compensation for your hard work. You're not a burden for clearly stating your boundaries in a relationship. You are an equal, engaging in a transaction of value. State your request cleanly, firmly, and entirely in the affirmative. Instead of saying, I was hoping we could maybe talk about my salary. Say, I have scheduled this meeting to discuss my compensation. When you remove the verbal weakness from your request, your words hit the air with the force of gravity. Number 3, the supreme power of the silent void. This is where 99% of people lose the negotiation. They gather the courage to make the request. They ask for the promotion. They ask for the sale. They ask for the commitment. But the moment the words leave their mouth, the silence feels unbearable. The anxiety spikes, and to soothe that anxiety, they immediately start talking again. They start over-explaining their reasons. They start offering discounts. They start negotiating against themselves before the other person has even had a chance to reply. I'd like a 10% raise, but I know the budget is tight, so even 5% is fine, or we could wait until next quarter. In 3 seconds, they have completely dismantled their own power. To get whatever you want, you must master the supreme power of the silent void. When you make your request, you must shut your mouth and hold the silence. Look them directly in the eyes. Breathe slowly. Let the tension build in the room. Do not rescue them from the discomfort, and do not rescue yourself. Silence projects massive, unwavering confidence. It tells the other person that you are so secure in the value of your request that you do not need to defend it with nervous chatter. He who speaks first after the ask loses. Let the heavy, beautiful weight of your silence do the heavy lifting for you. Declare your discipline below. Type this: I speak my truth and trust the silence. Number 4. Frame the request as a mutual elevation. The amateur believes that asking for something is an act of taking. They believe that if they ask for a higher price, or more respect, or a better opportunity, they're extracting value from the other person, creating a winner and a loser. This mindset creates guilt, and guilt destroys your posture. The Stoic leader operates from a profoundly different paradigm. They understand that a true request is never an extraction. It is an invitation to elevation. When you ask your boss for a raise, you are not begging for charity. You are presenting them with an opportunity to retain a highly valuable, competent asset who will generate massive returns for their business. When you ask a partner to respect your boundaries, You are not being demanding. You are offering them the blueprint to a healthier, more sustainable, more authentic relationship. You must completely reframe the narrative inside your own mind. You're not a beggar with a tin cup. You are a sovereign individual offering an exchange of premium value. When you truly believe that giving you what you want will ultimately benefit the person giving it, your request stops sounding like a plea and starts sounding like a privilege. Number 5. Ask with the readiness to walk away. This is the most brutal, uncompromising rule of the Stoic art of asking. If you cannot walk away from the negotiation, you are not negotiating. You are surrendering. If you are desperately clinging to a specific job, a specific client, or a specific person, they hold absolute power over you. Your fear of losing them will bleed into your request, and they will smell the desperation on you like a predator smells fear. Seneca wrote extensively about the concept of premeditation, mentally practicing the loss of the things we hold dear. You must apply this to every major request you make. Before you walk into the room, you must mentally accept the reality of the no. You must visualize yourself hearing the rejection, standing up, shaking their hand, and walking out the door completely intact. When you are genuinely willing to walk away, your energy shifts entirely. You're no longer acting from a place of scarcity. You're operating from a place of ultimate freedom. You do not need this specific opportunity to survive, because you know your character and your work ethic will generate 1,000 more opportunities. The willingness to walk away gives you the leverage to demand exactly what you are worth, because you are no longer terrorized by the threat of refusal. Lock in your sovereignty. Comment below. I am always free to walk away. Number 6. Strip away the emotional theater. When people feel they have been wronged or underappreciated, their requests are almost always drowning in emotion. They ask for what they want using the language of anger, resentment, and victimhood. You never appreciate me. I'm working harder than everyone else, and it's not fair. They turn a standard negotiation into a dramatic theatrical performance, trying to guilt the other person into compliance. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily that emotions cloud judgment and destroy authority. The closer a man comes to a calm mind, the closer he is to strength, he wrote. If you want to command respect and get what you want, you must strip the emotional theater from your request. You must become a surgeon of communication. Bring facts, not feelings. Bring data, not drama. If you want a promotion, do not talk about how stressed you are. Present the objective metrics of the value you have produced. If you need a friend to change their behavior, do not attack their character. State the specific action that crossed the line, and state the specific action you require moving forward. Cold, calm, clinical objectivity is terrifyingly persuasive. It removes the emotional hooks that people use to argue with you, leaving them with nothing to debate but the undeniable facts on the table. Number 7. Demand greatness from yourself first. Before you can confidently ask the world to give you what you want, you must look in the mirror and ask a devastating question: have I earned the right to ask for this? The Stoic philosophy is entirely built on internal accountability. You cannot demand a premium salary if you are delivering mediocre, distracted work. You cannot demand unwavering loyalty from a partner if you are constantly entertaining temptations. You cannot demand respect from the gallery if you secretly do not respect yourself in the dark. The ultimate secret to asking for whatever you want is becoming the kind of person who undeniably deserves it. You must hold yourself to a standard that is so rigorous, so disciplined, and so uncompromising that your competence cannot be questioned. When you know, in the quietest corners of your own conscience, that you have put in the hours, that you have refined your character, that you have executed your duties with absolute excellence, the ask becomes effortless. It is no longer a leap of faith. It is just a declaration of reality. Master yourself first. Build your inner citadel. When your internal value is undeniable, the external world has no choice but to adjust its price to meet you. The art of asking is not a manipulation tactic. It is not a trick to force people to do what you want. It is a profound, stoic realignment of your own dignity. It is the realization that your voice has weight. It is the understanding that you are not a passive victim of fate, waiting to be handed the scraps of life. You are a sovereign architect. When you learn to detach from the outcome, when you kill the language of permission, when you embrace the silence, and when you become genuinely willing to walk away, you stop surviving your life. You start commanding it. The anxiety that used to choke you before a hard conversation will dissolve. The fear of rejection will vanish. You will look the world dead in the eye and state your terms with the quiet, lethal calm of someone who knows exactly who they are. The universe does not respect hesitation. It respects clarity. It respects action. It respects the warrior who steps forward and claims their space. If you have stayed in the fire until the very end of this video, it means you possess a hunger for mastery that the masses completely lack. You are not here to settle. You are here to build. Prove your commitment to this path today. Hit the like button to cement your progress. Share this video with someone who needs to find their voice. And make sure you are subscribed so you never lose your edge. Leave your final, unbreakable declaration in the comments below. I command my voice, and I create my reality. Stay grounded. Stay disciplined. Guard your inner citadel. I will see you in the next one.